It seems like this really reminds me of like Karo Shoujo whenever our sister would come to wake us up in the morning. Now we have Hatsune to come wake us up in the morning. It's like, she's, I don't know, like she just basically seems like the little sister character for this game. And it's weird because Hatsune is just like a secondary character, like a side character. She's really in the background in Karo Shoujo, but here she's kind of, well, I wouldn't say important, but she's definitely gets a lot more screen time than she does in like Karo Shoujo. But then again, that also depends on what you do in Karo Shoujo and what route you go down. I really don't like that about, like, just a little bit of a rant. I really don't like that about the Innocent Gray games, like Karo Shoujo and this game too, is that they kind of make you think that, oh hey, there's routes, but there really isn't. Like I've said this before, you know, like there is not routes. You will go into a route and then you'll eventually get a dead end, or you know, you'll die or something. So really, it's just it's just a bunch of dead ends. I mean, there's really only one route you can go down, and the rest are just bullshit because it's just you end up dying anyway. So I'm like, what exactly is the point of that, other than just seeing a sex scene with that character? That's really the only point. Pardon me, Shugo-sama. I wake up to the sound of Hatsune's soothing voice. Breakfast is ready. Hatsune gently shakes my futon. Oh, Hatsune, morning. I sit up and rub my eyes. Hatsune watches over me with a quiet smile on her face. How does some breakfast sound, Shugo-sama? That'd be great, thanks. No problem, I'll bring it right away. She bows politely and leaves my room. I rise to my feet and open my mouth to yawn. Ugh. I should get this place cleaned up before Hatsune returns with my breakfast. With my head still fuzzy from having been woken up, I pack away the futon into the closet. That should do it. When I glance downward, I see this morning's paper has been left on top of the table. Hatsune probably brought it in here with her. I flip through and scan the headlines with no particular target in mind. The cannibal has struck again. No new developments regarding the Ueno murders. The only other headline that catches my eye says that a large number of dead crows have been discovered in Ueno Park. Ueno Park sits practically right next to the Yukishiro. It's hard to remain at ease when dozens of dead crows have been found there. What kind of sicko would do something like that? It goes on to say the crows were poisoned and their wings forcibly ripped off. In essence, a horrible sight. Well, it's still loads better than having a human corpse turn up. Aside from that incident, yesterday was another peaceful day across Japan. That's just fine with me. I close the newspaper just as I hear a voice. Excuse me, I've brought your breakfast. It's Hatsune, her soothing voice coming from the other side of the screen. So somebody's killing crows? A murder of crows. Why the hell would somebody kill crows? That seems like, I don't know. I mean, then again, I'm questioning somebody who's probably crazy. After breakfast, I go to the toilet to why do I need to know this? I go to the toilet to relieve myself, and on the way back to my room. Oh, it's her again. She wants that D real fucking bad, fam. Welcome back. Where'd you run off to, Shu-san? Rin greets me with a smile on her face. I just went to see a man about a dog. What? Huh? What the heck are you talking about? That must be an expression I'm not exactly familiar with. Come on, you work in a brothel, you should at least recognize that expression. I retort with a smug look on my face. Well, at any rate, it's slang for going to the bathroom. Oh. Well, I kind of figured that's what it was. Ah, you were taking a piss? Why are we having a conversation about this? Not so loud, okay? That certainly caught me off guard. Sheesh, you should give it to me straight then. Oh, she wants us to give it to her somehow. I can't figure out whether you're being bashful or trying to show off, Shu-san. I silently vow never to try and act intelligent ever again. Oh, by the way, Shu-san, you haven't seen Otaha-san around, have you? He probably wouldn't have wanted to if he did. It's like, I try to avoid her like the plague. I took a look around the Yukishiro, but she doesn't seem to be here at all. Otaha? Now that she mentions it, I haven't run into her this morning. Nope, haven't seen her. Oddly enough, Rin seems to be troubled by this. I wonder what happened to her. We were going to go shopping together this afternoon too. Whoa, you two sure have been hitting it off. Rin and Otaha hang out together pretty often since they're about the same age. For some reasons, that strict Otaha is really easygoing, but only with Rin. Oh, you jealous, Shu-san? Not in the slightest. Ah, you're so cold. Rin pretends to break into tears. Anyhow, there's still some time left before noon, so perhaps she's taking care of some business. Business? You mean like seeing a man about a dog? Girls should use watering the roses. Wow, look at Mr. Smarty Pants here. He's really knowledgeable about expressions for using the bathroom. This time she looks at me with genuine admiration. Let's see, how should I put this? I suppose it isn't a bad thing to show off my intelligent side once in a while, right? Right? I don't know, it depends on what you consider to be intelligent. I guess in Shugo's mind, intelligent is just using various different expressions to confuse people. We proceed to pass the time by just sitting around and doing nothing in particular. I lie down and continue reading a novel I'm halfway done with. So nothing to do for work today, huh? Rin sits at my desk, rummaging and rooting through the drawers with a serious look on her face. Was she trying to steal stuff? She abruptly jerks her head up and says, Shu-san, don't you have a secret diary hidden away somewhere? Of course I don't. I'm not a teenage girl. I don't fucking have a diary. Come on, Rin, don't be pawing through other people's desks without permission. Finally, the time of my appointment with Kazuna draws near. I say to Rin, sorry Rin, I'm going to have a guest over soon, so if you've got no business here then. Ah, that's right, I do have some business. Now you realize you have something to do here? She shoves her face close to mine. Yeah. Actually, it's some super important business. Really? She forcefully pushes me onto my back. I suddenly find myself prostrate with Rin bending over me. Rin? I hear the rustling of her clothes. Aw, fuck. The white skin of her breast peeks out at me. Oh, what is happening? Come on. I'm completely enveloped by her sweet scent. No. What is happening here? Remember what you said yesterday, Shu-san? I want to thank you, so I'll give you anything you want. Oh, I know where this is going. We all know what's happening here. She whispers into my ear. Her soft, moist breath brushes against the nape of my neck. I didn't exactly mean anything. Shu-san. She's got a bewitching, teasing smile. It's the kind of face she normally never shows me. It's a smile that ensnares the hearts of men and brings them to their knees. Come on, suddenly making a face like this is totally unfair. You know what I want, right? Her slender fingers trace their way across my cheek. Her knee brushes against my crotch. Okay. Okay. It's time. Yeah, it might be time to skip, but I don't know. We'll see. Yikes. Looks like she just got... Okay, it's time to skip. We were cock blocked. We were cock blocked. I was about to skip this too. I only skipped like a few lines. So basically, all you missed was that she was about to give Shugo a head, and then Kazuna came in and interrupted and cock blocked. Phew! I appreciate you doing this today. Kousuke Kazuna, fired up and reporting for duty. Let's give it our best shot searching for my sister today, Shugo-san. Kazuna suddenly freezes. And then she opens her mouth wide and screams. No! What the fuck? Calm down. This is something that adults typically do. It's not for you children. Well, yeah. Our tongues are intertwined. Rin is bending over me with her kimono open, and I'm reaching for her boobs. I can't blame her for thinking that we're right in the middle of the act. Well, because you were. Truth be told, I totally didn't intend on doing it, okay? Guys always use that excuse. Yeah. That's exactly why your hands were on her breast and, you know, you were getting into it. So that happened. And then now everything's awkward. 10 minutes later, after everybody has calmed down, we sit there, one man, two women. That makes everything extra awkward. As for what happened in the last 10 minutes, I'll just have to ask you to imagine it from the now spectacularly destroyed sliding door. What the hell? Why'd she destroy the sliding door? What'd the sliding door do to her? Well, sorry about that. Now that I think about it, you said you had a guest coming, right? Yeah, great timing. Rin laughs as though nothing has happened. Ugh, women. You did this on purpose, didn't you? Shugo-san? I'm super disappointed, Shugo-san. You really live in this place because you enjoy losing yourself to your lewd sexual urges, right? Lewd sexual urges? Rin smirks. What's so funny about that? Uh-oh, Kazuna's getting riled up again. I frantically try to explain. Kazuna, it's all a misunderstanding. Wait, it's not like you and I have that kind of relationship, so there's no need for me to explain this anyway. Huh? But really, you've got the wrong idea. The entire year I've been living here, I haven't laid a finger on any of the girls at the Yukishiro. No, except for now. It's a custom, a throwback from the olden days of brothels. Males living in the brothel were prohibited from touching any of the girls on the grounds that it would interfere with their work. Well, it's not like I work at the Yukishiro, but that's why I usually try to avoid them when I feel the desire come upon me. Well, thanks for sharing. I love their fucking faces here. It's like, I'm getting real tired of your shit, Shugo. What? Nobody believes me? No. Then just what was going on earlier? It's, foreplay. You know, it's completely innocent. The way Shusan used his tongue was so passionate. How do I explain this? I was going to stop soon. I just miscalculated. Yes, you miscalculated. Let's just treat this as an exception and pretend it never happened. You're bound to have one or two close calls if you live in this kind of environment. It takes a virtuous man to stop at that point. Yeah, you basically have to be a monk or a saint. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at this. They're like, nah, fam. We don't believe you. Your waifus don't believe your shit. No waifu, no laifu. The looks they're giving me are painful, as they should be. It looks like my particular brand of virtues isn't exactly their cup of tea. I guess a man who stands up for himself often ends up standing alone. Yep. Not even your waifu will help you out there. In the hustle and bustle of Ueno. Now everything is awkward. It's like, you know, we were fine before. We were fine until she caught us in the act. Neither of us utters a single word. Kazuna walks along ahead of me, slightly to my left. I get the feeling she's kind of disgusted. Wait a second, why the heck is she all angry? Jealousy? Probably jealousy. Women are usually like that if they're jealous. Kazuna and Rin had distanced themselves from me and held a whispered conversation for a short while. Yes, a conversation between women that only women will understand, not us men who are too primitive in our ways. I caught random snippets of their talk, mainly the words dishonest, hypocrite, and enemy of womankind. What the fuck? Why the hell is Rain the one who's, you know, like, she was the one who was doing this in the first place. I don't see why the fuck she's all angry at us now. Women always start to conspire with each other in these situations. That's why they're all blank, voluntarily redacted. After a short amount of time has passed. Okay, thank you so much. I've learned a lot. I'm sure you did. Sure, you'll be fine, Kazuna-chan. I'm rooting for you. It looked like they just about wrapped things up, though I have no idea what they were discussing. After exchanging a friendly, firm handshake with Rin, Kazuna turned and regarded me with a look of pure disdain. Well then, shall we go search for my sister? Are you ready to go? What was your name? Pervosaki? Whoops, my mistake. Takashiro-san, right? There wasn't even a single character from my name in there. What the hell? Why does so much of this game feels more like a comedy than actually like you know, again, I can't help but compare it to Karo no Shoujo, but it's much more comedic, and it's mostly just because Kazuna is just such a, like, she's just so random and airhead, like, she's just kind of an airhead, and she's very energetic, and she's also kind of the comic relief to some extent. Kazuna, being sarcastic, disconcerted, I stood up. Okay, let's get going. Well, I guess you could say that Tojiko was kind of like the comic relief for Karo no Shoujo. But Tojiko is just obnoxious. And here we are yet again in the midst of the throng. I've practically drowned myself in my thoughts. Does this mean Kazuna likes me, since she got so pissed over seeing me and Rin fooling around? Yep. That's probably the case, fam. That usually is. There's no other explanation for her behavior. No, that's ridiculous. I frantically pushed the notion aside. Even though Kazuna's somewhat airheaded, she's still the beautiful daughter of a well-to-do family. Besides, she's a hot up-and-coming actress in her field. There's absolutely no way she'd have a crush on an idiotic and jobless, nearly 30-year-old guy like me. Yeah, the age difference here is a little bit creepy, too. I mean, when is the age difference? I mean, goddamn, there is an age difference in Karo no Shoujo, too. A pretty big one. But although I don't know, I want to say that Kazuna is at least maybe a young adult. Maybe she's like 18, 19, 20. It's still a little bit weird, just considering that Shugo is like in his 30s. Well, I don't know. Kazuna, walking in front of me, comes to a halt while I'm engrossed in my trivial thoughts. I have a question. Sure. Preoccupied as I am with my thinking, I'm caught completely off guard. What is it? What kind of relationship do you have going on with Rin-san? The trivial matter Kazuna is forcefully interrogating me about is pretty much what I was just pondering. Let's see. I get along fine with Rin, but we're just friends. Yeah, even though we were tongue wrestling. Does that have something to do with Kazuna's soul and mood? Well, friends with benefits. I knew it. Okay, I think it's best to just give her a reply that will settle things. Oh, fuck. She's like family, she's just a friend. Again, neither one of these options sound convincing or good, because saying she's like family, like, we know this is Japan, and saying she's like family doesn't really mean much. And saying she's just a friend is about just as bad, like, because that doesn't mean much of anything either. Because just earlier, Shugo said, oh, well, she's just a friend, even though I was, like, French kissing her and all this. Like, what the fuck? Well, apparently we need to say she's like family. I guess that makes everything better. Let's see. I've known her for a long time, so she's like family. Kind of like a precious little sister to me. Ooh, what a nice young family man I must seem. That'll leave her with a great impression of me. Yeah, I think either response is going to end up, no response is going to make you look any better here. Yeah, I told you. Oh, so that's how it is. So you like doing that kind of rough play with your precious little sister, Shugo-san? Yeah, I told you, fam. Ah, shit, I just dug my own grave. A sexual pioneer. Mumbling. Wait. Kazuna's mood doesn't improve until we leave downtown. Jesus Christ. Afterward, we visit Oemachi, continuing our investigation from yesterday. I suddenly halt. Something doesn't feel right. The aura here has changed somehow. There's something odd about these mud-splattered streets and the people walking down them. On the surface, it looks no different from how it did when we came here yesterday. However, Shugo-san, something's not right. Sensing the strange aura has caused Kazuna to return to her normal self. Yeah, I know what you mean. And the origin of that feeling of unease is the scathing glares of the inhabitants of this area. A squinty-eyed man that walks by us, an old crone sitting on the side of the road, a skinny girl holding a baby, a gloomy old man holding a bottle of booze. The stares come from the alleys, from behind storm shutters, from around corners, from beneath caps pulled down low over faces. What on earth is going on? All of their eyes are focused on us. Everybody in this place is staring at us. At least, that's the way it feels. I have no idea why, but the fact remains that this area has clearly changed. Kazuna. I gently tug Kazuna's sleeve and try to shield her from all the prying eyes. After a moment's hesitation, she approaches me. I know this might be unpleasant, but it's best if you don't wander far from my side until we leave this area. I whisper to her. No, it's not exactly unpleasant, but... Kazuna's voice is even more of a strained whisper than mine. Thank you very much, Shugo-san. She latches onto my arm strongly. This is why I don't go through the ghetto. We've arrived at the place where I'm supposed to meet Touji. My friend of few words is standing there, puffing away on a cigarette. Sorry, did we make you wait? There are several cigarette butts scattered on the ground at her feet. Touji shakes her head curtly and says, Let's go. This is no place to talk. She stalks off, leading the way. We leave the slums behind us and return to Ueno Station. I'm finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. The searching looks from earlier have vanished. They had felt so palpable it was as though their eyes were crawling over my skin. I'm back in familiar territory now. On the way here, Kazuna happily introduced herself to Touji. She told her new friend about her job, her dreams, and the reason why she was working together with me. Kazuna blabbered on animatedly without even being asked. I'm sure Touji looked a bit odd with her one arm and white hair, but Kazuna was completely unfazed. Why does she have white hair? I'm not even so concerned about, like, her having one arm rather than just her hair being all white. Like, why is that? Touji just looked at me, surprised. Most people take a step back the moment they lay eyes on Touji's figure. That's probably why she finds Kazuna's behavior so remarkable. Well, that's just how she is. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Nah. Touji replies, wearing a carefully guarded expression. What's the matter, you guys? Touji's annoyed by her chattering. I take the opportunity to tease Kazuna, but then... No, he's wrong. I'm not annoyed at all. Touji immediately denies it. I don't mind if you keep talking some more. Okay. Kazuna cocks her head curiously as she gauges Touji's reaction. I chuckle to myself. Well. It seems that Touji's taken quite a shine to Kazuna. Well, Kazuna is a pretty likable character. Probably the most likable character in the Karo no Shoujo franchise, in my opinion. Well then, after we've settled into our seats at Milk Hall, I cannot get over that name, Milk Hall. I asked Touji what her business is. Did you notice how they acted? I presume she's asking me about the slums. To be honest, it certainly was disturbing. The way Touji speaks is a bit clipped. She can be hard to follow at times. Huh? Yeah, I did. I ponder things for a second and continue. I felt people staring at us while we were walking. It wasn't any individual in particular, but rather as if the people from that part of town had their eyes fixed on us. Touji nods silently. Did Touji call us out there just so we could experience that? If that's the case, you know something. What is it, Touji? She then informs us calmly. You guys are being targeted by the Hand of Death. What? Touji, why us? I lose my composure and jump at her. Shugo, take a seat. We won't get anything done if you're going to get all hot-headed. Touji never once loses her cool. Her boldness is kind of aggravating. Kazuna turns toward us and speaks up. May I ask a question? She asks, her hand raised timidly. This Hand of Death sounds kind of mysterious and scary. What exactly is it? You don't know the Hand of Death? Her words cast a pall over the conversation. Kazuna has a look that says, huh? Did I say something wrong? Written all over her face. She looks back and forth between Touji and me. Seeing Kazuna like that makes me realize how idiotic I was for getting overexcited. Touji's absolutely correct. There's no point getting riled up right now. Well, you see, the Hand of Death is... all the tension drains out of my body. It's an underground syndicate headquartered in the Ueno area. I guess you could think of them as being similar to the Yakuza. Touji is one of their leaders. Wow, a leader? You're amazing, Touji-san. It seems that Kazuna's admiration is somewhat misguided. I hate dealing with people. They just stuck this title on me. Touji makes a frustrated face. Touji, a conscientious person, is often at odds with the way her organization will resort to any means necessary to get things done. But why is the Hand of Death after us? I can tell you right now that your group won't gain anything by targeting Kazuna and me. Touji nods and continues. That's right, let's get down to business. She then pulls out a single photograph from her pocket. Is it Yura again? The platters of food are lined up one after the other on top of the table. Maybe not. Kazuna is overwhelmed by the mere sight of all this cuisine. There's even a stream of drool hanging from her half-open mouth. What's wrong? Dig in. Okay, then, Touji-san, Kazuna's so overjoyed she can't even form a coherent sentence. Well, she did tell me that she was... I didn't think she'd be this famished, though. Is being an actress really that unprofitable? Touji-san, you're super amazing to be able to order all this extravagant food without even batting an eyelash. I'll remember this moment for the rest of my life. I listen in on the peaceful conversation between the budding actress and the prodigy of the underworld as I sip my coffee. Don't worry about it. My line of work is rather profitable. Really? May I ask you something? Go ahead. Okay. I've been wondering this since earlier. Touji-san, what kind of work do you normally do? You don't want to know, kid. I manage gambling establishments, assist in fights, provide bodyguard services, collect protection money, lots of stuff. Oh, sounds like you must be pretty busy all the time. Thanks for taking your time to do this then. You wanted to talk to me and Shugo-san because you were concerned about us, right? Well, Kazuna stares straight at Touji. Touji-san, you're such a kind person. Is Touji, I don't know, like, Toji's like, she always acts embarrassed whenever Kazuna praises her about something. I don't know, like, I almost want to ask, is, like, Touji gay or something like that? I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised. I know that she's not, because I have played this game before, but it almost, like, it's a little bit, like, I don't know, maybe she just does that because she's embarrassed. I don't know, maybe I'm looking too much into this. Touji turns away, speechless. Whoa there, she's blushing. What's so funny, Shugo? Nothing at all. Touji glares at me. Gods, her face is scary. My apologies. Pay no heed to me. Please enjoy your conversation, ladies. I apologize to her respectfully. Did you just say ladies? Is that supposed to be offensive? I can feel her gaze growing more intense. Were you referring to me, Shugo? You know I don't refer to myself as a lady. Well, I didn't make any mistake there. Touji, you're a girl too. Eh? You guys, is it my fault you're getting all hostile? No, that's not it. It's not your fault, Kazuna. Touji quickly denies it. Oh. Kazuna cocks her head in confusion. Ah, right. Touji's pretty cute when she's like this. Chuckling, I take a look down at the photograph by my hand. Touji's opened up a whole new can of worms for us. Oh, it is a picture of Yura. Because right there, in the center of the photograph, is Kousuke Yura. As I gaze at Kousuke Yura's photograph, I remember what just happened. Sis! The moment Kazuna laid eyes on the photograph, her voice fell sharply, but she looked clearly different than the girl in the photographs I got from Kazuna yesterday. Her physique, perhaps? The photographs I saw yesterday depicted Yura from 5 years ago, before she vanished. But this photo was taken recently? She looked quite grown up, perhaps around the same height as Kazuna, maybe a little taller. I wasn't surprised she'd grown. It'd been 5 years after all. Please explain, Touji. What's the meaning of this? Let's see. Touji started speaking in a matter-of-fact tone. The girl in the photo was a mistress that one of the leaders of the Hand of Death kept. Her name, Hyo. Or Hyo? Hyo? I don't know how to pronounce that. Naturally, nobody believed that it was her real name. Before anyone realized it, the man had adopted Hyo as his mistress. It took some crazy things to turn that guy on. He tormented Hyo night and day. She must have had some guts to put up with his twisted fetishes. That doesn't sound too good. But one morning, she just vanished. He went mad and searched the entire mansion. Unable to find her, he ordered his subordinates to comb the Ueno area. That happened 2 weeks ago. This photo was passed around when the search began. It's been circulating around Ueno. Come to think of it, 2 weeks ago was when that girl resembling Yura was spotted in an alley in Oimachi. Okay, I see where you're going with this. I recalled the way people had stared us down today. That area of town is part of the Hand of Death's turf. I see. So it was because we just showed up there with a picture of a girl that looked like her. The informants I met with yesterday probably passed on the details of our conversation to the Hand of Death. Kazuna's appearance in particular. The more you looked at her, the more she seemed a mirror image of the girl in the photograph. It was no surprise the Syndicate had its eyes on her. Hold on just a second here. Are you saying that Hyo-san person might be my sister? Kazuna wore a troubled expression on her face. Well, I couldn't blame her. To have unexpected news about your sister being, of all things, the Yakuza's mistress. I could understand how confused she must have been feeling as well. But to actually be involved with the Hand of Death. She was dressed like a shrine maiden, well, in dirty clothes similar to what they would wear. She wasn't wearing a coat, even in this cold weather. Oh, so that's... Yeah, she's the girl from the very beginning of the game in that one scene at the beginning where she's like shoveling snow. Yeah, that's definitely her, because she was also wearing like a shrine maiden outfit. Touji, what kind of clothes did Hyo have on when she disappeared? I believe they were just normal Western style clothes. What of it? I'm just curious. One more thing. How were her eyes? What do you mean, how? She wasn't blind or anything? I had never heard anything to that effect. Besides, Hyo was always locked up in that man's private chambers. There weren't many people in the mansion who got a proper look at her. There's no way to know whether she was able to see or not. I see. The information I gathered from 2 days of investigation had given rise to new images of Kousuke Yura inside my head. I had memories from 7 years ago, the eyewitness accounts of her in the slums, and Keiichiro's description of his daughter. And now, I had information from Touji regarding her stint as a mistress in the Hand of Death. While those images increased the number of leads we had, they also served to make things more fuzzy and unclear. Something about this bugged me. It just didn't add up. After I spent a while deep in thought, Touji spoke again. Now it's my turn to ask some questions. Touji turned to us with a cold, calculating look in her eyes. It was the face one would expect from a leader of the Hand of Death, a look that brooked no resistance. The photograph that you guys possess. Just who is the girl in that photo, and why are you searching for her? Well, time to explain everything. I then proceeded to explain the events of these last 2 days to Touji, with Kazuna filling in the details. Touji gave me a look that felt like it was boring right into the depths of my heart. The sun has set completely by the time we get out of milk hall. See you later, Shugo-san, and Touji-san too. Thanks so much for today. Kazuna grinned at us from across the street. She'd told us that she had to show up for rehearsal with her theater group today. After giving us a big wave, Kazuna vanishes down the street. She's a nice kid, Touji murmurs after watching her go. I thought it was kind of strange to begin with, how you had your guard down around her, Shugo. I take a glance at Toji's carefully guarded expression. But now I understand. Kazuna's... She halts there. Oh, she ain't gonna say it. It looks like she's struggling to find the right words. I flash her a wry grin. Don't push yourself. You've never been much of a talker. I guess she's just adept at putting herself in other people's pockets. She opened up right away to Rin and Nana, too. Yeah, you're right. Born to be an underling. No, I get the feeling that's not really something you can praise. But she's indisputably a good person. I can feel a smile naturally coming onto my face when I talk about Kazuna. I'm going to get laughed at by Touji again, since it's so unlike me. Is her theater group nearby? Touji suddenly wears a look of concern on her face. She said it was the International Theater, so it's a short walk from here. I see. Touji stalks off at a brisk trot. Hey, what's wrong? She replies sharply without turning around. I'm going to walk Kazuna there. I don't think any of the people from the syndicate will start anything in public, but... After saying that, she picks up the pace. It's best to cover all our bases. I don't want her getting hurt. I don't think she has to go that far, but... Amused at Touji's overprotectiveness, I follow along behind her. And then, as though she had been waiting for us to enter that deserted street... Stop it! No! A short scream rings out. Oh, fuck. Of course something's happening. God, you're so annoying. Shut up, you little brat. Kazuna's fallen onto her rear, and there are two evil-looking guys grabbing her arms. That's the moment I'm about to dash over there. Hold it, Shugo. This looks like my kind of work. Leave it to me. Upon declaring that, Touji tosses away the cigarette in her hand and pulls out a weapon from her pocket. And then... Damn! Beat their ass with a tonfa. It's over before I can even blink. I'm Aoki Touji, and she's a friend of mine. Nobody's allowed to lay a hand on her. Understood? God damn. I think I'm in love. Touji ignores the two punks writhing around on the road and turns to Kazuna. Kazuna, did they hit you? She walks over to Kazuna and extends a hand. I forgot how much I like Touji too. She's such a badass. Yeah. Kazuna, tears in her eyes, presses a hand against her cheek. She sits on the ground, not making any move to stand up. Sorry, I can't stand up. I've got you. Touji gently helps the princess to her feet. Touji-san. Kazuna blushes as she looks up at her knight in shining armor. Are you hurt anywhere? No. Good. That's a relief. I think it's best if you just went home for today. They both walk off, with Touji leading Kazuna gently by the hand. Well, that was, I have no comments on that. Huh? Wait, where was my part in all that? You were just the observer. After escorting Kazuna back to her home in Kanda, we've returned to Ueno. Our location, Ueno Park, beside the shore of Shinobazu Pond. We lean against the fence and watch the snow falling onto the surface of the water. I'll deal with the people from the syndicate. Starting tomorrow, things like that won't happen again. I recall the scene from earlier this evening, in particular the wretched sight of those thugs collapsed in the mud. Sure enough, they were subordinates of the leader in question. Apparently, they were waiting for an opportunity ever since they spotted Kazuna around noon. They didn't die, but they were probably left with a few broken bones. Well, they're the kind of guys that hit girls in the face. They got what they deserved. Even though they were away from the main roads, to do something like that in public was bordering on the absurd. That guy, seems like he's pretty impatient. Do you think he'll just sit down and back off? He is looking for his mistress named Hyo. It has nothing to do with Kazuna. I'll go have a talk with him. That should settle things. If Touji doesn't act, then sooner or later we'll fall into the clutches of the Hand of Death. Touji, sorry for all the trouble. Think nothing of it. I'm used to this sort of thing. You seem a little out of it, like you're thinking about something. She flashes me a wry smile and continues. That's right. If you're feeling thankful. Her eyes suddenly narrow into slits. Those red eyes of hers seem like they can see through everything. Then tell me the truth. Oh, well, were we lying to her before? A certain sentence Keiichiro spoke to me floods back into my mind. You see, my daughter Yura is already dead. Oh, we didn't tell her that. The truth, huh? I pull a cigarette out of my pocket. Don't hide it from me, Shugo. There's more to the story from this afternoon, right? What we talked about this afternoon. Kousuke Keiichiro's request. You seemed to hesitate when you explained things to me earlier. It didn't sit well with me. I light my cigarette, a bitter grin on my face. You're pretty sharp. I'd expect no less from someone as high up as you are. Don't joke around, Shugo. Let's be serious here. It's not like I'd intended to hide anything from you. I just wanted to keep it a secret from Kazuna. I swear, that's all it was. Touji's silence urges me to continue. Let's see. Ellipsis. In the Kousuke living room. After he had made Kazuna leave, Keiichiro started telling me about the real motives behind his job. Yura-san's dead? Keiichiro delivered a cold-hearted reply in response to my suspicious glance. In short, this search is a sham. Just do whatever is appropriate in order to deceive Kazuna. I was at a loss for words. What Keiichiro had just said seemed completely beside the point. You're pretty slow. I'm surprised you're able to make a living in the detective business. He seemed disgusted with me. Listen up. Yura's existence is already a thing of the past for us. The only person in the Kousuke family who wants to find Yura is Kazuna. He sighed in the direction of the door Kazuna had used to exit the room. However, Kazuna is a stubborn girl. I'm sure she'd continue the search for Yura, even on her own. There's no way I could let a daughter of the Kousuke family continue with that strange behavior forever. That's where you come in, Takashiro-kun. Realization slowly sunk in. It left a bad taste in my mouth. So what you're telling me is to not find Yura-san. That's correct. Now we're getting somewhere. His laugh was pure arrogance. Just think about it, Takashiro-kun. Apparently, Yura's been wandering around in the slums of Ueno. There's no way to know what kind of men have touched her, right? Oh, so now she's soiled, she's damaged goods. If there's a child in her belly, that bastard born from the seed of some lowlife could become the heir to the Kousuke family. At that point, Keiichiro put on a grand smile. The fortune of the Kousuke family is something I risked my own life to build up. It is the result of me sweating blood through constant competition and hard work. It is my entire life. I will not have the family name dragged through the mud via the misconduct of some daughter. Some daughter, Keiichiro had said. I felt disgust welling up inside me. Keiichiro paid no heed to the thoughts running through my head and continued on. I'm not going to ask you to deal with the problem. That's beyond the scope of this job. Your task is to deceive my daughter. There's nothing else I require aside from that. Of course, there will be monetary compensation. Not a bad deal, right? Let's see. As for how long, let's just say until Kazuna gives up on Yura. Submit a report to me and Kazuna once a month. Falsified report. Yura died on that day 5 years ago. I wish for her to remain dead. Keiichiro stopped and chuckled cruelly. Have we come to an understanding, Takashiro-kun? Power, money, violence. There are people who are used to exercising all the power in the world to make others obey them. They disregard others in order to protect their own interests. Kousuke Keiichiro is one of those people. May I ask a question? I attempted to keep my displeasure in check as I posed a question. What is it? Could you tell me the circumstances under which Yura-san vanished? It has nothing to do with your job. I don't feel the need to inform you. Then what about her accident 10 years ago? Why was Yura-san shut inside of her room? That is also unrelated. Keiichiro waved his hand around as though annoyed and stood up. This should do it, right? Takashiro-kun, I'm counting on you with this job. Okay, understood. It seemed the conversation was over. I nodded and rose from the sofa. Ryoko, show Takashiro-kun out. Sure. Ryoko replied lethargically and headed for the door. Keiichiro called out to me as I was about to leave the room. Right. One last thing, Takashiro-kun. Kazuna may ask to participate in your investigation, when the time comes. You must tell her that she cannot be a part of it. And that brings us back to the present. Nighttime at Ueno Park. The moon's completely shrouded behind clouds. We're both wreathed into the darkness of this twilight hour. A look of disgust forms on Touji's face as the story unfolds. Keiichiro's plan and Kazuna's wishes are completely at odds with each other. I don't want Kazuna to know that yet. It's not out of love for one's family, but solely because he would hate to soil the family name. Her own father wants her sister dead. That's the cruel reality Kazuna faces. That's why I couldn't tell you the entire story this afternoon. Kazuna asked to join the investigation, just as Keiichiro predicted. That's why I've been dragging her around everywhere. Touji's eyes grow all the more keen. And you're okay with that? He binds others with his power and crushes them beneath his feet. Keiichiro's behavior is the type of stuff Touji absolutely abhors. Well, I don't know. I shrug. I was told to search, so I'm searching. I'm free to do so however I see fit. Unfortunately for Keiichiro, I might just stumble across Yura along the way, and it's entirely possible that Kazuna might happen to be together with me at that time. So you intend to ignore Kousuke Keiichiro's request? I twist my lips into a grin. I am kind of slow, you know. Touji stares at me silently, and then she suddenly says, I'll help too. Whoa there. Don't fall head over heels for my suaveness, okay? Don't be ridiculous. I'm doing it for Kazuna. Touji flat out denies it. She's really not one for jokes. We still don't know whether that girl Hio is Kazuna's sister, Kousuke Yura. However, I'll pass on all the information I get from the Hand of Death to you guys from now on. She's going to pass on information from an underground syndicate to outsiders like us. Without a doubt, that's a dangerous move. That should be fine, right? If she's discovered doing that, it'll put her in grave danger. However, in light of that fact, my friends offered to help, wearing her usual poker face. Without even expecting anything in return, she does this for a friend. She just met today. Hey Touji, to make a long story short, Touji is... Want a kiss? What? A great person. So... He just likes to embarrass her. I part ways with Touji, who seems rather offended for some reason, at the park and head for home. The snow is still coming down. Uh-oh. Is the Colt at it again? When I enter downtown. What's going on? It's an alley that branches off to the right in front of the district's entrance. There's a crowd formed in the narrow space between buildings that's normally used for dumping food waste. Could it be one of Ueno's bizarre murders? The thought briefly crosses my mind. I should take a look. I head for the alley. And inside is... Oh, maybe not. Oh, holy shit. What is going on? What the hell? A large number of dead crows with their wings ripped off. And then the crows eating the crows. Give me a break. Why in the world are these things behind my store? It's a bit too cruel for a kid's prank. Did you piss someone off or something? The hell are you talking about? I'm an honest merchant. There's not the slightest reason for anyone to hold a grudge against me. They're wrong. This wasn't for some grudge. This is the same as what I read in this morning's paper. But this is pretty creepy. Yeah, what does the world come to? What with the cannibalism and all? It's just sick murders, one after the other. There's been a lot of kidnappings too. I won't be able to do business in peace at this rate. With that, all the onlookers start raising a commotion over public safety in Ueno. We can't trust the government. Why not just form a band or association of vigilantes separate from the police? Say the people in the rabble. I can't bear to stay here any longer. I turn around to leave, and right at that moment... Wow, crows eat the bodies of their comrades. I hear a child's reedy voice at my side. They're pretty loud, huh? Everyone's making such a fuss. This kid's got some weird clothes on. Yeah, the same as the one that was trying to hand us that religious text the other day. They're wearing a coat with a hood extended so it hides their face. Their voice is so strained and hoarse that I can't even determine the kid's sex. Huh? What? What the heck is this kid talking about? Upon closer inspection, their garb seems to resemble what that kid handing out leaflets at Oimachi the other day was wearing. At any rate, I don't want to hang around this kid any longer. Hey you, I've hardly opened my mouth to speak when... Hey Tatsuo, hurry up and get your butt inside! It's the voice of the old lady from earlier. The kid silently enters one of the houses after hearing that. What's with your kid? Why is he wearing something so weird? Well, I'm not really sure what to do about him. This strange priestess or shaman person's been all the rage lately, right? Yeah, I've heard about her. She's really been getting around these parts. They've been spreading this convenient rumor that if you worship them, then the cannibal will leave you alone if you run into him. Right. That clothing looks like the stuff her followers wear. Tatsuo has fallen for it too. Lately, he's just been spewing a bunch of strange nonsense at home. What on earth happened to him? Well, this is just getting weirder and weirder. Trudging home on tired legs, I finally reached the Yukishiro. Is Rin gonna try to go for the D again? Business seems to be booming tonight. I stick my head into the kitchen and ask where Madame Ojaku is. Come to think of it, I haven't run into the madam in quite a long time. There's a veritable boatload of things I want to discuss with her. Hatsune, the murders, Koyuki, and Sarah. Madame Ojaku's not coming back tonight. Apparently she's been asked to deal with some business in Fukugawa. I see. She's not one to say no when asked, so I'm not surprised. I give the head chef my thanks and leave the kitchen. I've returned to my room. I slide open the screen to see. Ah, she did come back for the D. God damn it. Welcome home, sir. You must be exhausted. Will you be having a meal? Will you be having a bath? Or will you be having me? Or perhaps... She gives me a flirty look. I'm going to jail! What? What are you doing? I went to all this trouble to greet you sexily, too. Rin bangs on the screen from the other side. What the heck are you doing in my room? And why are you a cat? I hold the door closed so Rin can't get out. She's a chibi cat. I want to continue what we started this afternoon. I still haven't gotten my reward yet. Oh boy, she's still going on about that. Stop screwing around, Rin. Why are you so obsessed with me in the first place? Well, of course, that's because I love you, Shu-san. A message of love from behind the screen door. What are you really trying to do here? Trying to fuck up my potential love with my waifu, Kazuna. I'm exhausted. Nothing beats sucking out a young man's life essence on a day like this. Hey, you're younger than he is, so... Goodbye. Just kidding. I really do love you. Bang, bang, bang. Rin tries to get my attention by pounding the screen. Ugh, stop hitting it. You'll piss off everyone nearby. As a shameful freeloader, I can't give the other people here any more reasons to glare at me. Ugh, I have no choice but to... Oh, fuck. Go inside or sleep in another room. Well... Oh, come on. Don't be a pussy. Oh my god. So, apparently, we're gonna have to sleep in another room. Come on. Sorry, Rin. Muttering that with my eyes downcast, I block the sliding door with a pole and leave. So we're just gonna lock her inside? This is the best I can do. Yeah? Shu-san? Shu-san? Bang, bang, bang. The racket gradually fades into the distance. I hope all our feelings of love become distant memories someday. For some reason, I'm feeling awfully sentimental tonight. Well, that's probably why you didn't take her, take the opportunity to do you-know-what with her. I don't know why the fuck, like, come on, man. He has, like, he's not, well, technically, like, he's not in a relationship right now. I don't see why he's so averse to, like, casual sex. I mean, it's not something I, in particular, would really do if I wasn't in a relationship, but come on. I mean, Shugo doesn't seem like the type who would really turn that kind of thing down. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Well then, where should I bed down this evening? Obviously Hatsune's room. There shouldn't be any problem with me sleeping in the storage room for just one night, but it's the dead of winter. I'd like to sleep in the warmest place available. With that in mind, I happen to come across Hatsune coming down the hallway toward me. Of course. It's going to be another chilly night, Shugo-sama. If your room's cold, I could fetch you another blanket. Hatsune's brimming with tender concern for me. Oh, here's my chance. No, I didn't want to have sex with her, but I will choose this other woman, though. Surely Hatsune won't refuse. Actually, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. I put on the most sincere face I can muster. Please let me sleep in your room tonight. Do you not realize what the hell that sounds like you're asking to people, and like, specifically when you ask that to women? Huh? Hatsune's eyes practically pop right out of her head. I suppose it's only natural to be surprised after being asked that out of the blue. I should ask her more politely. Actually, you should probably clarify what the hell is going on. I need your room. Please, Hatsune. Why is there another R there? Shugo-sama? Hatsune's face instantly turns scarlet. It's so soon. I'm not ready. It's just for one night. Oh my god. Comedic misunderstandings again. Big, sad tears start rolling down her face. But what about my feelings? Mean, Shugo-sama. You're so mean. Huh? But I don't mind, even if you're just fooling around, even if it's just one fleeting night with you. It appears that we have a fundamental misunderstanding here. I wonder how that could have come about. Wait, Hatsune, calm down. After spending 20 minutes explaining the situation, holy shit, 20 minutes, I'm about to calm Hatsune down and get a place to spend the night. Oh, holy shit. That was, that could have been avoided had you just clarified what the hell was happening. Hey, there's a crazy woman that, oh, that happened too. What the fuck? Well, hey, there's a prostitute that's trying to have sex with me against my will, and I need to get away from her. Like, just tell her that. Come on, she'll understand. The whole place is full of prostitutes. Yeah. Was the scream like that? Primordial screams ring out through the darkness. Blank stops pulling the saw and looks down at the woman. Yeah, this seems familiar. Oh, well, we know who that is. A stream of drool dribbles from her mouth. Wheezing noises rise from her throat. The remnants of her severed right arm twitch intermittently. Large amounts of blood continue to pour from the wound. Her nervous system must still be in shock from getting her right arm chopped off. A glimmer of recognition returns to her bloodshot, glazed eyes. Stop. Blank grips the feebly breathing woman's head and slams it against the tabletop. Ooh. Again and again. Again and again, Blank pounds her head down relentlessly. Again and again and again. Until the head explodes. The sharp crack of something breaking brings Blank a sense of exhilaration and the beginnings of a smile. Somebody's a fucking sadist. The woman has ceased moving. There's blood flowing out from her nose and mouth. I wonder what... Again, I wonder why. Blank feels a sense of relief. Finally, there's some peace and quiet. Now Blank can focus on the work to be done. Blank's right hand is covered with the woman's own blood and body fat. The fluids will prevent Blank from putting enough power into the sawing motion. It'll take too much time to amputate the parts. Blank had picked the saw because using a knife to cut through the bone would take too long. The choice seems to have backfired, however. When the rough blade of the saw hits a nerve, it wakes up the woman's dying brain. Oh, God. This is just stuff I really didn't even know about, and I really don't think I need to know. The fat flowing out from beneath the woman's skin is making it so the saw doesn't have any purchase on the bone. It just slides back and forth fruitlessly. Blank wipes dirty hands on the woman's red undershirt and swaps the saw for a hatchet. Blank takes a few practice swings to get reaccustomed to the hatchet. With this, it didn't even take 5 minutes to chop completely through the bone on the previous girl. Blank experimented by using a saw this time around, but it seems that the hatchet is far more efficient. Blank decides to start with the hatchet next time around. Nodding slightly, Blank swings down the blade, hard. The hatchet is swung again and again and again. Oh man, you think that's enough? The girl stops moving as the blade is brought down repeatedly. Blank seizes her head and sets it back upright, as it had flopped over during the chopping spree. Next up is... God, her eye. Holy shit. That's not a pleasant sight. Blank picks up an auger and carefully points it at her eyeball. Oh, holy fuck. Only 2 of these precious eyeballs can be collected from a single body. Failure is not an option. Oh, man. He's gonna pluck out her eyeball. Oh, no, please. Blank's fingernails prop open her eyelids. Her clouded eyeball is slowly exposed. Blank pushes her eyelids open even further. The tip of the auger is thrust into the space between the eyelid and the eyeball. Ugh. Sweat covers Blank's forehead. This is delicate work. It requires mental concentration. After running the auger around her eye socket, the eyeball is completely exposed. It only remains connected to the brain via the optic nerve. All that's left now is to yank it out.